Welcome to the Small Business Bootcamp podcast, the show that gives lifetime solutions for your business and business solutions for your lifetime. I'm Corey Tucker, and today it's just me and Megan in the studio, and we're going to give you some quick fire marketing tips. We're going to be talking about 3 tools that will up your marketing game and optimize your business for the digital world. Megan, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Summer, it's beautiful outside. Can't be better. How about you?
Oh, I love the summer. It's my favorite time of year. It's hot. You know, I hate being inside during the summer. So I really, really love this time of year. It makes me really, really happy. So go ahead.
Well, as I say, good news. We have a quick podcast today, so you can listen to it on your walk, or you can be outside, and we'll get right outside after this one because it is beautiful.
Let's do a warm-up question. What's the first question that comes into your head as it comes to marketing?
First question, like if I'm asking somebody else about marketing.
Yeah.
I always want to know what tools they use.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what tools do you use in marketing? That's always my go-to because I'm just curious. I feel like everybody attacks it different, and I love business technology and finding out if there's a way I can do something quicker and more efficient and get better data or whatever it is, make my life easier. I want to know. So I always want to ask them what tools they use.
Yeah, I'm the same. What tools do you use and how effective are they?
Yep.
And it gets my brain spinning. I'm like you. I love business technology.
Yep.
I love to make my job easier so I can focus on the creative things that come with marketing.
Yeah. So we wanted to kind of just walk through just quickly 3 tools that can up your marketing game. And so we're ranging them from starting with something that's free and then moving up into paid advertising or paid tools. But the first one is actually a free tool that we have available on our website, and we'll have it in the podcast notes, that Corey began to use as he stepped into the marketing world here at Kids First. It's called our one-page marketing plan. Corey, can you kind of describe the marketing plan, how you use it, and how it's kind of upping, your strategies and your game plan here at Kids First?
So we talked about this one-page marketing plan a couple weeks ago, and actually someone reached out to me and I sent it out to them. But the thing I love about the one-page marketing plan is that it gives you a starting point and points you in the right direction. So you're not off trying to do all these crazy things that won't impact your business at the end of the day. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan. And so there's 3 parts to this one-page marketing plan. The first is the before phase. This is the prospect phase. This is somebody checking you out. And so that first phase is all about knowing your target market, right? Who's your customer? What are their needs and desires and pain points? And then what is the message you want to send to them? Like, what is that message that is compelling, that resonates with that audience? And then that final piece of that first phase is, where are they at? Are they on social media? Are they on LinkedIn? And it talks about reaching those people where they're at. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is like the during phase. This is the lead phase. This is where you capture their information. This is where you begin to nurture that relationship with maybe follow-up emails and content and valuable information. And you begin to educate them and engage them about your process and about your company as they walk through that sales funnel. And then that last piece in this phase 2 is the turning them into customers. What are those techniques? Are there demos? Are there consultations? Are there things that you're utilizing to convert them to customers? And then, in my opinion, one of the most important things is phase 3 is the after phase. This is when they're a customer. And the questions we should be asking ourselves as business leaders is, how do we deliver a world-class experience? We need to ensure that our product is high quality. And we need to make sure that the customer is satisfied and we exceed all their expectations. And then from there, we want to increase the customer lifetime value. That means upselling, cross-selling, and loyalty programs, referrals, implementation, all that good stuff. So that's the one-page marketing plan. There is a book around the one-page marketing plan. Everyone talks about this plan. So make sure if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Megan or I, and we'd be more than happy to walk through them for you.
Yeah. And I just want to quickly touch on, I think we had always done a pretty good job in that once they become a client, like we focused a lot on the business systems of, our software or the follow-ups and things like that. And obviously they're so much better with you guys here. But what I found interesting when we started walking through that before phase was just in that identification of our client, figuring out who they are, where they shop, what they are interested in. And if you really can sit down and target that, I feel like it opened my mind up to all these other places that we weren't really hitting or touching, or places we can be marketing to pull them in. And so I think part of that is for Kids First. For a lot of times we just focused on everybody that was walking through our doors and the foot traffic and word of mouth. But we're now at this phase, and so many other businesses are at this phase where you're having to find people outside. And I mean, most businesses are in that phase. Kids First was very blessed for a period of time that we didn't focus on that. We are focusing on that now. But I think to identify that target and who they are and where everything about them, I think really opened my eyes up to all the places that we should be marketing and places that we should be going. So I think that's a huge part of that tool that I found, really useful.
Well, speaking of that, and the cool thing about understanding who your target is, a lot of times you, as a marketing person, you'll come in with some preconceived ideas on what your target market is. Mm-hmm. And when we began to run Facebook ads, we found that there was a demographic of 65 plus that were looking at our ads and interacting with our ads. And I didn't see that coming. So
we weren't hitting on the grandparents.
Right.
We didn't realize it. Yeah.
Right. And so I think that one-page marketing plan was the thing that really opened my eyes. Like, okay, maybe I need to not come in with my own preconceived ideas and just see, really who our demographic is, right? And there's a bunch of different ways you can figure out who your demographic is.
Yeah. So that tool, as we've talked about it before, you can grab your free copy in our podcast notes. You can also email us at info@metzgerbootcamp.com to get that. But that's our first tool. Our second tool we're going to talk about today is social media. I think everybody sees social media as a free resource, and I think we all recognize it's a necessary part of our business strategies. But I think the question becomes, how do you optimize it? Where do you focus your time and energy? We get that question a lot, like, I don't want to waste my time in social media. How do I optimize getting to the right people? What am I putting out? How often am I putting it out? And then just how to optimize that. So we want to give a few quick tools on that. And I think for one, and this is something that has been a big focus as you've stepped in, is just the content. Gathering photos, videos, and be posting at least 1 to 2 times per day minimum on your platforms. Having those constant postings and having that content put out there will boost you in the algorithms because it's showing that you're producing consistent content. It's relevant because people are going to engage with it and see it, which in turn is going to boost you and put you out to larger groups of people. And then I think the third thing, I think everybody knows that video right now is the way to go. We all see Reels and TikTok and those videos. So using video as much as you can, and you don't have to be as much of an expert as you think. I think, quick tools that you can have at your disposal. Any iPhone or high quality phone is going to give you great video. I think investing in just a Bluetooth mic and having tools like CapCut, Canva, Adobe, you can make great videos to put out on social media. And so I think from a free standpoint, that is the tools that I can give and those Reels, what's so important about them is they get you out on that explore page. So the videos and the posts that you put on your page, if they're not a reel, they're just going to your audience and they'll continue to get likes and engagement. But once you get into those Reels, then you're getting out on the explore page and you're reaching people that are not fans of your page. So, and then I said it, kind of as an extra bonus, you can get a gimbal, which will kind of take your photos and videos to a higher quality for that stability standpoint, but it's optional. So I don't know, I think what I wanted to have you talk about, Corey, is how do you then take that social media platform and optimize it from a paid standpoint?
Sure. So that's a great question. And so let me talk a little bit about the setup before the paid ads. So it's going to be important to choose the right platform. Make sure you understand where your target audience is spending their time. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Man, we've seen some huge leaps in TikTok. So that make sure you're really understanding where your target audience is at. And then from there, you're put out as much content as you can, use images and videos as Megan was talking about. Share valuable information, ask questions to spark conversation, run contests or giveaways. And this is right here what sets up your paid ads. Track your engagement, the likes, the comments, the shares, monitor your website traffic from social media, and use analytics. Study that stuff backwards and forward. Figure out what naturally your audience resonates with, and that will help set up your paid ads. Is that helpful?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And I think maybe you can touch on this because we hear this sometimes at boot camp. They think that boosting an ad is the same as Facebook advertising. Can you kind of touch on that for a minute?
Yeah. So those are two very different things. So I always tell people, make sure your social media is together first before you do anything, and never boost. Always learn how or pay someone to do an ad. The boosting doesn't always give you the analytics and the retargeting capabilities that you need to really understand what ads resonate with your target market.
And where can you find people if you're not a Facebook ads expert? Where could you find somebody that can do this or help you in your area?
That is
or not in your area?
That's a fantastic question. Referrals are, in my opinion, the best way to start. Ask your other business owners. Check LinkedIn. Some other areas to check is maybe there's a business group, like a networking group. There are, TV stations and radio stations that also do this kind of thing. But what you really want is someone that's going to step into your business and begin to understand it. And create processes and give you ideas to really further your business. So I would say referrals is the number one way. Do you have some?
Is this something that you can like Upwork or Fiverr, or is that going to be more like, is that a place that people can go to get somebody?
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, Upwork. So we actually we actually use Upwork to edit this podcast. So yeah, and it's a great price point. And a lot of those folks are knowledgeable. I think that's a great one.
Yeah. And I think even if it is totally out of your wheelhouse and you don't have any young people or anybody in your organization that can make video content, if you can supply the photos and videos to them, you can also Upwork or Fiverr the video content. You just have to weigh the price of what you're paying versus your employees or yourself and your time. But there's a lot of resources on there, I think, to help up your game at pretty reasonable price points. Yeah,
there's websites now that'll do all the work for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy now. You can take a 20-minute video, throw it into a software, and they'll say, "Hey, these are the best 5 spots. Why don't you use these as clips?"
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of resources out there.
Awesome. Well, as we move, we're going to talk about our third tool, and this is one that we began using earlier this year that I feel like has upped our marketing game and will continue to as we move forward. We're going to talk about HubSpot. So HubSpot is something that we started using, again, earlier this year. I can't pinpoint exactly when, but it's a software that has a lot of different moving parts and a lot of pieces that you can use to up your business. Corey, can you kind of talk about how we've used HubSpot in our marketing and what you see it doing for us in the future?
So I think when we first onboarded HubSpot, we used the chat feature first.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that chat feature. First of all, I'm a huge fan of CRM. In my own business, I use Zoho. So I've always been a big proponent of CRM. And if I could afford HubSpot, I would definitely use it. But how we're using it now, we onboarded with that chat feature. And then we also began to use the email marketing. Those are the first things that we utilized right away, email marketing. And there was, it's a learning process. It's not, our previous CRM was MailChimp, email marketing piece that we utilize mainly. And it's different. So it's a learning process. Now we are stepping into using HubSpot as landing pages. It takes all my analytics and puts it in one place. We can post to our social media using HubSpot. We're working on an integration with iClass. So when someone signs up for a new free trial, that information gets dumped into HubSpot. So that's something we're working on, that integration piece. And that's, I think those are the areas that we're working on right now. The future, you can schedule appointments. You can send a link out, schedule appointments with your team. It's got so many cool features that it's hard to remember all of them. One of the things that I'm going to be turning on in the next couple of weeks is the survey function. So awesome. Yeah, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
Because, if we need to know what's really working and what's not working, we can just send them a survey. So there's some really cool things about HubSpot that I really, really enjoy. I'm trying to think, is there more? I'm sure there's more.
I think for us, it was a way, I think we knew that we needed a platform that could bring all of our pieces together. And I wanted to optimize workflows and automation. And I think one thing that this has been able to do and will continue to do is taking all the areas where our hospitality team sees a pinch point of, hey, I wish we could reach out to this person sooner, or, we just see some pain points here. And then we're able to create a workflow and once we have that integration too with iClass, it'll be even greater. But even an integration from the workflow, from our website to say if they're showing an interest in this, we can then create a workflow that sends them this email, sets them up for a trial, all those kinds of things. So I feel like the possibilities are endless and how we can reach the customers in that personal experience, but also make it automated so that it's consistent across all of our platforms. But it just continues to, it takes the workflow off of our front desk staff who still want to give that personal in-touch experience. But then it's starting to create this blend too between that hospitality team and the marketing team and how we can work together to sort of create this funnel of leads that then we can reach and contact and nurture. So there's just a lot of great pieces, I think, as we move forward in HubSpot. And you mentioned the price, and it isn't a cheap software. So I think as we kind of move through these three tools, this is definitely the more expensive, and it is an investment for your business. One piece of advice I can say is make sure that you know that all those are negotiable. So just, reaching out and making sure that you're getting the best price that you can. Don't take the first price they give you on anything. But what are you mentioned Zoho, is that the alternative that you guys have? Do you know any others if somebody's looking for maybe a more cost affordable solution?
Oh, there's tons out there, and you can spend weeks trying to find the software that's going to work for you. But some of the other ones that there are is Pipedrive, and there's Monday, Salesforce. A friend of mine uses Honeybook. It's not bad. I also use ClickUp, which is more of a project management tool, but it has some CRM capabilities.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hopefully, what we wanted to give in this podcast was just some quick tips. I wanted to move, from free tools that are available to you right now to options that you can use in the future. All of these are being currently optimized and have really upped our game here at Kids First, from the one-page marketing plan that Corey brought in and really helping us craft who our target audience is and how we're able to reach them, and our plans for that phase of when they sign up to the nurturing phase after. Our social media, which has really become a great part of how we're driving our advertising and how that's being reached, which also comes from the marketing plan, which is also using the data that we get from HubSpot. All of those together are really upping our marketing game, and we wanted to share those and hope that you can glean something from it and take anything from it. But please, if you have questions, reach out and ask. Any final thoughts, Corey, on upping your marketing game?
Where do I begin? Start somewhere. Start with a plan and work that plan and analyze that plan. Start there and have fun with it. It's really fun to see your business change through marketing. It's a fun process. And in that process, make sure you have some mentors along with you. Talk to your other, business owners or business leaders and walk through things together. It's great to have a team of folks that are learning and growing together.
Mm-hmm. So thank you for listening to the Small Business Bootcamp podcast. Our goal is lifetime solutions for your business and business solutions for your lifetime. If you're interested in coming to the next bootcamp here in Cincinnati, Ohio at Kids First Sports Center, it's November 14th through the 18th, 2024. If you would like to register or find information, you can go to www.metzgerbootcamp.com. Any final thoughts, Corey?
We want to see you at the next bootcamp, November 14th through the 18th. There's still some spots left open.
Until next time, stay positive and keep moving forward.